What's up, guys? Call me Bigg Vic. We back with another video, and today I got my hands on a new Chrome extension that I've been using for about a week now. And this Chrome extension has some very interesting features on it. So if you're using the DAT load board, if you're using truck stop, first feature I want to get into is right over here. We just switched it to stealth mode. If you take a look at, we can now turn our DAT load boards, whichever board you're using, into dark mode, or you can go back into light mode. Sometimes my eyes start getting weary and I need that screen to get black, so we can black it out. So that's the first feature that I wanted to talk about. That's a cool feature right there. Second thing, if you've been using Chrome extensions, of course you can have your default emails up here. You can use different emails to dispatch your loads from. Then of course you have your default templates. I have a couple of different templates for certain types of loads that I'm looking at on load board, so I'll use a different template for those loads. So it's cool to be able to go in here into my profile and be able to select different templates that I would like to send out to brokers. If you have brokers whose loads you know absolutely you do not want to run, and you know absolutely you do not want to see their loads pop up on your load board, guess what you can do? Check this out. You can ignore brokers. So basically you can go in here. Let's say, for example, I copy and paste this broker's name right here. I go up in here. Let's copy the name, put it in, boom, just like that. See, they disappeared. No, I don't have to look at their loads. Their loads are not going to pop up on the board for me because they are ignored, right? So if you got any of your favorite brokers that you don't want to see their loads, that's how you can go ahead and just straight ignore those loads. Now, there's times when I've seen brokers come on this load board, especially DAT. I've seen brokers come on the load board and straight spam the load board. Like, it's ridiculous. You'll see a broker post the same load 100 times. I'm not being funny. I'm serious. Seriously, I've seen brokers post the same load 10, 20 times back to back, and it just populates and it keeps pushing all the loads that you're trying to possibly book down into the filters to where you can't even see the loads unless you scroll back up, right? So they want their load to be priority for some strange, weird reason. They feel like they have to keep posting that load. So if you don't want to see a broker's load, that is a feature that you can use by using LoadHunter. Shout out to LoadHunter for creating that feature. Here's something interesting I definitely want to show you guys. You can also auto send emails. Now this feature right here this feature is a game changer, especially when you can go in here. For example, let's say I can go in here and do my minimum rate per mile. I can put a minimum rate that I want to be paid. I can do max miles, minimum miles, my max weight, and my minimum weight. So once you go in here and you put something in for, let's say my minimum rate is $2 a mile, that will allow me to, boom, hit auto enable emails, right? But that's going to be coming out of, this particular state. So you have to do it for each one that you're interested. See how it's up here? Like Ridgefield, New Jersey. I had to drive in Ridgefield, New Jersey. And so now I have auto emails enabled, which means the first load that pops up matching that criteria is going to automatically send the email out for me. And I don't have to even look at it, right? Long as my criteria, long as I have my criteria in here set in this filter, that's gonna be a go for me automatically. And you guys know, when these loads pop up, the person who emails the fastest or calls the fastest is more than likely gonna be the one that's able to book that load. So that auto email feature is killer. So now we can come over here. We can also hide duplicate loads. So if you see a load that's up there that keeps popping up, boom, we can just click the button here and we can hide those loads. We can also do our filters over here, minimum rate per mile, minimum rate, max rate, similar features over here. But it's also set here for auto sending emails. Like I said, we can ignore certain states. If you don't want to see certain loads from certain states pop up, put them in here, it'll automatically remove them. I love that feature. Ignoring brokers, that's probably like my #1 feature on here. Here's another game changer. You see this little blue button up here? If you have a Telegram account, this will allow you to connect. I'm gonna click it for right now. I don't have mine set up right now, but if you have a Telegram account, this will allow you to be able to open up, when you set your filters, any loads that pop up that you created on your filters between truck stop or DAT load board, it's gonna automatically push those loads to your Telegram, right into your messages. You'll be able to see the loads pop up right on your phone. If you're using a phone, if you're using a tablet, whatever you have Telegram on, those loads will populate right into your Telegram app, which I think that's an amazing feature, to be able to combine both loads. That kind of alleviates you from having to go back on Telegram, or go back on truck stop and look for looking at loads, or if you're on DAT looking at loads. So let's say if I am on DAT and truck stop is, I have that in another window, I don't have to go back to truck stop and keep watching that load board, because the loads that I'm interested in are going to populate in my Telegram account. I think that's fire right there. So let's go back over here to the load board. Let me go to one that requires an email. Now, here's something also interesting with this Chrome extension by LoadHunter. Now, you can also hit this button here for your weather. This can tell you what the weather's gonna be like in that area, in Jamaica, New York. Also for Miami, you can get the weather update right here on the board. Let me click that for you. But that's gonna show you the weather. If I double click that, you know, if there's anything going on out there, boom, the weather map is gonna open up. It's gonna tell you what's actually happening. Quick update of what's happening. Now, there's also Google Maps integrated into this Chrome extension. So if I click here, this is gonna pull up the Google Maps for that route, for that load, right? You're gonna have all your information that you need is right here. 19 hours, 53 minutes. What you're looking at right here is also, it's showing you the broker's rating. Of course, here you still are able to see the blue check mark. If you factor your loads with OTR, this blue check mark means that this load is good to go to factor with OTR solutions. Now, also down here, they are also this load. This Chrome extension is kind of integrated with RTS. So if you can see here, you have your RTS broker rating for this particular broker, right? You can see they have an A right here, credit score 95. So you can see all that information here. And of course, if you want to send your email out, immediately you hit this button here, boom, this automatically sends that email to that broker without you having to go in and fill out, you know, all the information. Of course, create your templates. You know, be sure to go in here and create your templates for the different loads that the different information that you want to send out to brokers. Of course, you can edit those here and create whatever template you need to create to send out to those brokers. Now, let me go back here for a second. This is something that they added. Here's a feature that I love about this LoadHunter extension. Check this out. They also added your cost per mile right here. So let's say, I'm gonna put this in here. Let's say my cost per mile to run my truck is $1.45. Now I can lock this in. Now by me locking that in, any one of these loads that I click on now, so let's open this load up. So any load that I click on is automatically locked in. My cost per mile is there. So I can see all my numbers. If the broker, let's say I'm on the phone with the broker negotiating, and I'm like, hey, what's the rate that you have on this load? Let's say the broker says $1,500. Boom. Even though this load is going 2,000, I said the wrong number. Let's up that number. Let's just say $3,500. Boom. Now, if my cost per mile, this is 2,800 miles, that's still too low. But just for example, $3,500 we can see here is $1.21 per mile. And if we look at the spot rate, let's say we did. Let's say we put in a number. Let's go here and put in $4,500, since we see the average spot rate is between 4,000 and 4,400. So let's say 4,500. With my cost per mile being $1.45 to run my truck, this load comes out to $1.55 per mile, rate per mile, based on being paid a rate of $4,500. So my cost per mile is already factored in, which means my profit is only gonna be $292.10. If you're not heading from New Jersey and going back home to Portland, Oregon, this probably won't be the load that you probably would be interested in taking, especially not at $4,500, because your profit is gonna be $292. Like I said, if you're going home, that's different. This cost per mile calculator, I feel like this is a game-changing addition to this Chrome extension that will help everybody kind of like, just be more cognizant of what your numbers are while you're looking and you're negotiating with any broker on the load board. That feature's fire. I like that they added that CPM right there. This is a Chrome extension, so you do have to download the Chrome extension by going over to the Chrome web store. I want to say it's just web-based, so you definitely have to be using a web browser computer to be able to use that Chrome extension. This Chrome extension does what it does. Like this, I think this Chrome extension has everything that you would need to practically dispatch your loads quickly and not have your load board look like a mess with a whole bunch of loads that you don't want to see from whoever that broker is. And I know some of y'all got some brokers that you don't like to run loads for, and you don't want to see none of their loads on your load board. Yep, now we can ignore them. We can ignore those brokers. You can also hit this button right here to close that side panel. That's a little tricky feature. I like that. You can close that side panel. Almost missed that, but you can close that side panel if you don't want to see everything else on the side. Just kind of gives you a little more breathing room with your load boards, all right? Or you can open it back up. It's up to you. All right, so we're gonna close it out for now, but that's gonna allow you to close that out. Of course, you got your emails and your templates. You can select those up here. Got your various templates that you can click. You got your emails up here that you can click. Being able to filter out a lot of your search results, I think is awesome. Also here, let's click, where is it? Let's click up here on the extension. So if I click here on the extension, as you can see, emails, templates, and your settings. So if you don't want to see like factoring scores, whatever you don't want to see on your Chrome, on your extension for your load boards, you can disable it here. You can enable or disable Google Maps, whatever you don't want to see. If you don't want to see the weather, you can disable it here. All right, so that's a cool feature to be able to take off what you don't want to use. You can do that, just so you know that feature is available to you. Now, the best part about this LoadHunter is the guys over at LoadHunter said, hey Vic, we want to give your audience 20% off for your first 90 days using LoadHunter. I think it's incredible because you know what? The plugin is already dirt cheap. It's $10 a month. Everything that I just showed you, you get for now is less than $10 a month because now you get 20% off for your first 90 days. I think is incredible. I am using LoadHunter because that feature that allows you to block brokers, I think you have to have a higher plan with DAT in order to be able to activate a feature like that within DAT. But now you don't have to do that. You can actually use LoadHunter and be able to move them brokers out that's in the way, right? Y'all know the ones I'm talking about. You know the ones I'm talking about that have you going 300 miles for $150, like just weird stuff. Like you already know when you see their loads pop up, run. You can put my promo code in over at LoadHunter on their website when you're actually purchasing when you're purchasing the LoadHunter Chrome extension. Well, once you download the Chrome extension and you actually purchase an account, you can put my 20% promo code in, Bigg Vic. Of course, it's BIGVIC. They left the G out. I ain't hating on them. I ain't mad at them. But it's BIGVIC down below. Just use that promo code. Get 20% off for the first 90 days. Make sure you get LoadHunter and download it. Hope this Chrome extension helps you guys make more money faster. All right, it's Tommy Bigg Vic TV. Till the next video, you already know what it is. Always hustle, never stop growing. Let's go, let's get it, let's eat, baby.